Leaders, changemakers, visionaries. My name's Golden J. Johnson, founder of House of Golde, and I'm speaking to you from the future. I've seen what happens when brands chase visibility without integrity, and I've seen what happens when leaders choose to refine what they have, align towards a place they want to be, and develop a digital legacy instead. This is Beyond the Curve, the space where we explore the intersection of AI, human collaboration, creativity, digital legacy, and an entrepreneurial mindset. This is required to build what lasts in the future. And in today's episode, it's all about the truth no one's talking about yet. As you know, here at the Beyond the Curve, we are sharing early insights so you can be on the leading edge. And we're talking about visibility no longer guarantees growth. So in 2026, we are predicting here at House of Golde that platforms that used to reward noise are now rewarding proof. As you know, if you've been here for a while, we talk about social proofing, developing and establishing and positioning yourself as a leader in your industry. We are all about being the innovator, the person or the entity that people look towards for setting the standard. And if you have been posting, showing up, doing all the things, but not really being seen by the right people, then this one is for you. So I've been digging into new data from LinkedIn, Meta, Google, ManyChat, and OpenAI, and the pattern is very, very clear. The internet is starting to remember. The algorithms are starting to create their own database. And here's what that looks like in real life. So let's talk about Google. In plain English, think of trust like your credit score. Google's new updates favor credibility, authors, consistent domains, and verified expertise. Okay, so what this looks like, you publish a solid case study once, and that becomes the first thing that shows up in someone's types your name into an LLM, into a GPT, a Claude, Perplexity, a Grok. Yes, if you have a strategic case study in the world, in the digital world, then the AI will pick it up. The LLMs will pick it up. So LinkedIn, in plain English, it's no longer about how often you post, but it's about what proof you share. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you're going to see so many ideas and strategies and just perspectives of how I share information that actually helps viewers and readers like you apply that knowledge into their business and really have a pivot into their next phase. So what this looks like, your posts are going to be fewer, but each one includes a real result. So a client quote or a visible transformation. This is what it looks like on LinkedIn. Now, Meta, Instagram, and Facebook, the algorithm favors saves and shares over likes, is rewarding substance over scrolls, okay? And so even on Instagram, what I'm knowing, they have like these repost features. Imagine how many people would repost a reel. How can you position your content to make people want to repost, right? A lot of people do not repost sells or like a product. They don't do that. They actually repost things that they resonate with, that their audience relates to. So creating content from there is definitely 100% going to get you into the mindset and lifestyles of your ideal clients. And with that being said, shameless plug, I have an unshakable ICB training on the House of Golde store. Be sure to tune into that if you really want to learn how to get sticky in the algorithm right now. So what does that look like on Instagram when Instagram favors saves and shares over likes? Well, a video that gets fewer views but 10x more saves is what actually gets pushed. Okay. Now, I sat down with some ManyChat executives, DM automation expert, automation is shifting from cold to considerate. Okay. DMs are about context, not copy and paste. Stop being cold. Stop being so distant. Go to their profile, review what they're all about, see what kind of posts they create if they have any. And instead of, hey, want my offer? You're going to now say, I saw your post about scaling, curious what you're refining right now, right? Or I saw your post about working out, curious to know what made you really get into that breakthrough. Like, what was that one thing? This is how you open up conversation and you establish a point of reference to where that relationship starts going. I had some amazing conversations in the DM, very, very personal, that led to workshops and facilitations for me. So I abide by this rule. It's all about talking to human, right? Don't use an AI to talk to a human. You use AI, or in this case, LLMs, to create content that resonate, that cause that emotion to surface. That's how you should be creating content. It's not about just responding to the comments or sending a cold DM. You will lose people ASAP. So OpenAI, every AI generated video now has a digital signature. It has metadata, it has a watermark, including Sora as well. So think of it like this, like an artist citing their worth, authenticity is a new authority. So people are going to know, especially the techies in the world, they're going to know if your content has been AI generated. And I know for me, when I read this, I'm like, I better like start to either hire a copywriter. Shout out to the copywriters out there. If you have a copywriter in your DM right now, give them a chance. Hire them. They are there to ingest or invest human points of reference in your content. I'm definitely looking into that right now because of the algorithm and the metadata that it has when it creates something. Did you know there's like a barcode for like if you copied an output from, say, for example, Claude, and you just posted it on LinkedIn? I can literally copy and paste that, put it into a program, a software. I'll share it in another episode, but if you want to know, definitely reach out and I'll give you the lowdown details of that. But I'm really trying to work on a partnership with them, so I'm not going to mention them right now until that deal's done. But there is something that can take away that barcode of AI and reformat it as if you were human. Now you still got to do little tweaks there, but at least I'm saving time. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm all about saving time. So if I have to put in 5 minutes compared to a year or a month or a week or an hour, then I'll just put in that 5 minutes. Now, let's talk about Claude, Perplexity, and DataCam. These AI tools are surfacing verified expertise. It's not about volume here. So how this looks like in real life is when you publish a well-structured blog and suddenly your quote appears in an AI summary about your industry. This is why you need to get into the LLMs. Claude, Perplexity, they are all about reviewing blogs because they do research. They do a lot of research. And if you have a blog written by someone else, a credible source, if it's on LinkedIn, if you have it in multiple different places, then you're going to want to really take this serious and make sure that you're publishing human creativity, human outputs from now on, because Google, like I said, they favor credible authors, consistent domains, and verified expertise. And so they are actually having content fleshed out, like, is this AI written? They want more human tone. So this is why you're going to step back from just over posting just because you're trying to like ding the algorithm. It doesn't work like that anymore. It's kind of like this. We used to treat the internet like a megaphone, where it's like shouting out things. Now it's more like a museum, okay? People walk through your work quietly, studying what you've built, deciding if it belongs in their world. Here at House of Gold, we create brands to feel like lifestyles. It's an easy pick, right? So let's talk about the new data that we got. As you know, I had a 97 audits later that ICP Truth Most Founders Miss article on my LinkedIn, and it did so good. I decided to put this into this week's episode because you guys are just loving the data and I'm here for it. So I ran 147 more visibility audits across founders, consultants, scaling brands. Okay. And what I found really surprised me. A founder told me, we know our audience. We're posting daily, but nothing is moving. I don't know about you, but I like to tend to scroll and see people who comment on my LinkedIn. I kind of like look at their page when I have the time. And it's usually honestly like 2 profiles a week. But what I've noticed is that you guys are posting, you guys are putting out content, you guys are following the strategy you probably learned from a personal brand specialist, right? Great work, you guys. However, you probably noticed that the engagement is really low and not a lot of people are commenting. So this is where the data I got. Here's what showed up. So I had 38 founders had refined their audience, but not their authoritative narrative. So you probably were like, yeah, okay, this is my audience. You probably got the ICP training off the website. You did the thing, but now you're realizing, oh, but I'm not speaking towards my audience. I don't even know what that is, right? If you have a business and you don't really understand your audience to the core, you're gonna have trouble selling. It's not gonna take time anymore. It's gonna take you to come to the realization that you need to work on your authoritative narrative, your brand narrative, your brand voice. Again, shameless plug, House of Gold store. I got the personal legacy branding workbook for you. It will solve it, okay? But other than that, 31 posted consistently, but none had receipts to prove the results. So y'all are talking about everything you do, about maybe a story you had, but you have no recommendations. You have no Google profile testimonial. You didn't listen to the episode where I taught you how to use what you already have and create testimonials and proof online. Shame on you. I have a full podcast that really walks you through how to build social proof online. I also have a workbook that goes deeper than the episodes, and you're just like totally baffled at the information that you have. So I have testimonials on this, by the way. I'm not just selling right now. I am letting you know that people had amazing results with the products that I created. Okay. Check it out. But a lot of y'all do not have receipts. So we got to work on that. And 27 looked great online, but couldn't be found in search or LLM results. So you guys are doing good. You guys look pretty, but nobody is recognizing the beauty. And 22 said they were premium, but their content didn't feel premium at all. Their luxury brand didn't feel luxe at all. People think you add some marble and gold and it's a luxury brand. Honey, no. There are deeper attributes to developing a luxury, I like to call legacy brand, and definitely stay close if you want to get to a level where you're refining and pivoting your brand. Right now, I'm actually going to be working with a business owner who's going to be shifting from their old brand and refining it to a luxe brand. Okay, so stay close. So in plain terms, visibility does not equal, getting clients or being known. Visibility fades. And I know I talk a lot about visibility and I have a lot of visibility stacks and tactics for you to get in the algorithm. However, now we need to stack on top of that, okay? Like in life, you're always going to have something to add into, your life to improve it. Same with your business. It doesn't stop. Get used to it, okay? So last time we were talking about visibility. Now, if you've done the work and worked the plan, you are not at a point of, okay, let's build reputation, social proofing. So posting every day is like, what I like to say, like painting the walls over and over. You're just painting over the same color. Like it's not really doing much. So viability, however, that's your foundation, the structure that keeps standing no matter what color trends next year. You are the standard. You are it. Okay. Again, that's how we move over here at House of Gold. We are not about the trends. We set them, honey. So The proof is in the numbers. Okay. So what's the data show across the platforms? Short sentences only, LinkedIn posts with real experience. They like case studies, and honestly, metrics goes up 65%. When I posted this style of writing, when it came to literally showing you guys how the numbers are looking like, what the data is saying, you guys ate it up. You guys loved it. Imagine what your clients would love with your type of data, right? So Google search brands with consistent author signals, they rank 38% higher. So meaning if you get into blogs consistently, then you'll be discovered by LLMs in like a year. It takes time, but it's worth it, right? We're thinking about the future here. We're not in a rush. So McKinsey reports companies that review digital visibility quarterly are 2.5 times stronger as a business as a whole. So what does that mean? Start auditing what you have, start removing what you don't need anymore, start knowing where you are, where you want to be, and how you can strategically get there. Now, if you don't know how to strategically get there, because this is a strategy, I would love to invite you to an advisory partnership where I can support you in that growth and pivot you exactly where you need to be and show you the types of things that you need to, cover up in your boat that is causing leaky holes everywhere. Now, Forbes, 34% of startups fail from poor market fit. And it's not because their idea is bad, but because no one remembers them. Okay. That's the cost we're talking about. So let's get out of my data and let's get into 5 moves you can go to from visible to viable. So here's a framework I teach inside House of Gold. It's the same system I use with founders and executives who want to move from seen to sought after. Now, there are stacks to this. So don't think if you do this, you solved all your problems. It doesn't work that way. If I told you exactly what to do, it'd be impossible because we haven't met one-on-one. We haven't went through your books. Everyone's unique. Okay, so don't think you're going to do this and you're going to hit the lottery or something. But this is a huge, significant pivot you can put in your timeline right now. So number 1, you want to proof stack. You want to post stack. Every week, post one proof asset that could be a before and after, a client result, or even a lesson you applied in real time, like in a call. I love sharing those aha moments because I find that you guys love to listen to that and apply it in your businesses as well. So think of it like planting a receipt in the algorithm. This is a digital seed, so something the internet can verify later. You want this so when LLMs are communicating, when they or someone else is prompting, you pop up without even trying, honey. So the second one is authority narrative over authority tone. You don't want to tell people you're an expert. You don't want to be like, do this, do that. Okay. Those days are long gone. We used to do that before. Time to change. New thing, and this is it. Show them what decision you made, what failed, what worked. It's not I know everything. It's how it's more like here's what I did and here's what changed and here's how I did it. Now, if your how I did it is obviously a service, then CTA them to your service, hon. Like let them know, hey, I do this. And if you want that transformation, I got you. Let them know. The third one is relationship curation over cold reach. We are not doing that anymore. We are building relationships the way gardeners plant seeds, okay? Carefully, intentionally, stop spamming, start observing, okay? Your best partnerships will come from people you've consistently engaged with. That is a long-term game, and that is a powerful position to be in. Now, the fourth one is platform native proof. Each platform has its own language, its own algorithm, its own system, okay? And they speak fluently. We need you to get there. So carousels on LinkedIn, behind the scene reels on Instagram, blog recaps for AI search tools. This is what that looks like. Know the language of the platform. Know what gets pushed, what is positioned into, an authoritative thing, or like, getting into other people's For You page, I don't know what they're calling it right now, but basically you can get free access to the Explore page if you just position yourself right. It's literally that. You don't need a million views to get that. It's all about positioning. So the last one is my favorite: integrity by design. Watermark your work, cite your data, ask for consent, tag other statistics and people that influence your post, right? It's not overkill information. It's a new standard for digital legacy. Cite your data. I know for me, totally transparent, I of course use AI. It's the best thing ever. Of course I use LLMs. However, I strategically use them. For example, like I use Claude for my research, Perplexity for deep research, OpenAI. Once I get the outputs of Claude and Perplexity, I'll copy and paste that and put it into OpenAI and make that do the research. And then I'll go do my own research on top of that. This is the stack that I want you to think of. You need to start stacking tactics to get to the destination you want to be in. And so here's why this matters for you. If you're a founder or small business owner, this is your season to stop chasing reach and start designing remembrance. This is what digital legacy is all about: planting your assets into the algorithm, because partnerships, investors, and press opportunities all start with this one question: can we trust this brand to deliver what they say they can do? If you can't answer that, you're not in the running for any partnerships, investor, or press opportunities. So that's what viability is: proof that your message can hold weight even when you're not in the room. And I talk about my journey with this, especially sprinkling myself in the algorithm. It's been so amazing because I have global startup workshops contacting me all the way in Toronto, Canada, right? I travel to different parts of the country and the world to put on these workshops because people are finding me in the algorithm. And guess what? If they can do that, they're like, wow, this person must be legit, right? They must know what they're doing. And of course, and that's what I'm teaching you all as well. So as you move into the next phase of the visibility journey, I want you to ask yourself, are you positioning yourself to perform, or are you preserving? Okay, right now, you're either going to burn out and use your energy, and if that's the phase you're in, go for it, because those phases make sense depending on where you're at in your business. However, if you're here to preserve and you're here to just do the light work right now and plant yourself in the algorithm, so this time next year, you are already flourishing. When someone searches your name in Google, in ChatGPT, in Perplexity, will they find fluffy stuff, or will they find a deep-rooted legacy with a human, heart there? Because in the end, the brands that last aren't the loudest. They're the ones who stay potent, who stay refined and rooted in integrity. Okay, so this is Beyond the Curve, and I'm Golden J. Johnson, founder of House of Golde, where we help leaders, founders, and creatives build digital legacies that outlast trends. And if you're ready to go from visible to viable, I have so many free resources for you. But if you just want to skip all that and you're like, look, I just want to get to work and get results, then let's refine your system together. Definitely visit me at houseofgolde.com or go on the contact page. If you have me on LinkedIn, reach out. If this episode was amazing for you today, repost, talk about it. Like, I would love to hear your journey with the things that I'm sharing with you and how it's really making you embody this entrepreneurial legacy mindset I'm talking about. So anyways, I digress. This was a good talk. Be sure to put some things I mentioned in action. It is audit season, so definitely start to audit where you are, where you want to be, and start to think about what does that look like getting there. Sometimes you're going to have to completely remove something that literally doesn't even fuel your business. And these are some strategic decisions that I help many founders and leaders come up to with a decision with worldwide. So if that's you, if you know you need some partnership on some advisory on how to get to your next best phase, you know where to find me. I am so excited to see your growth.